Don't change or alter history, simply guard it. That's the task that faces the Dr., Ryan, and Yaz as they find themselves in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955 as they meet the one and only Rosa Parks. Hi, how are you? It's great to see you. I'm Raz Mandriotti here with another entry into the Doctor Who discussion video series, as today we take a look at Series 11, Episode 3, Rosa. So if this is your first time here, and film, TV, and comics is your passion, then please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the future geektastic fun. Montgomery, Alabama in 1955 was of course when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on a segregated bus in that city. And this episode deals with the Doctor, Ryan, and Yaz being thrown into that historical event by a rogue time traveler who is a criminal time traveler who has a goal of altering history. And throughout the course of the episode, we of course learn that he has an issue with African Americans and does not want them to rise above their place. This was by far my favorite episode of Series 11 for one very strong reason. I'm a big fan of Classic Who, and one of the things that early Classic Who does is have the Doctor be a part of historical events, teaching young people about historical events without making it feel like it's thrown in your face and making you entertained by what's going on. And that is what this episode, Rosa, does a beautiful job of, showing us what the history of the event was, who Rosa Parks is as an African American woman, what her struggles were, and what her decision-making process was to not give up that seat while not throwing it in our face and making it entertaining, because we also have Graham, who was married to an African American woman, of course, someone who was very importantly influenced by Rosa Parks. We have her grandson, Ryan, a young black man who's never experienced segregation like this firsthand and is suddenly thrown into this time period. And we have Yaz, who is a young Mexican woman who has to deal with discrimination of her own as she is guarding Rosa. The bus driver who drove the bus was very anti-African American and very of his time, and we spent a lot of time with his character and learned that even though actions of people upset us, we can't change them or affect them, because every little domino creates a bigger domino. That's what this episode is all about. You don't have to flat out change history. You can just nudge it one way or another, and the smallest thing affects the biggest change. The villain in this episode, the rogue time traveler in this episode, was trying to prevent Rosa from taking that seat that she wasn't meant to have. And this episode deals with all the events that would have happened had that not taken place. And in the most Doctor Who way possible, it is the Doctor and Ryan who are responsible for sitting up front on the bus, keeping the bus full, making it so that there's not enough seats for white passengers, making the driver have to ask Rosa to give up her seat, and subsequently the Doctor and her companions are directly a part of history. So this was a thoroughly enjoyable episode. I know that in last week's episode I had mentioned that I was going to make a concentrated effort to try to not give away as many spoilers and as many details about an episode, but in this particular case it is important that I did what I did. You can't talk about an episode entitled Rosa without talking about the reasons behind an episode like this and the impact it gives you, the viewer, and the realizations it helps you to realize. And in my case in particular, this was an important episode for me, not just because I have many great African American friends, but also because I'm a disabled individual and I know what it's like to be treated unfairly for no reason at all. So, as I mentioned, this was by far my favorite episode of Series 11 so far. As always, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your opinions on this episode, and if you're so inclined to do so, you will find other ways to help the channel grow as well in the description box below. If this was your first time here and you enjoyed what you saw today, please do consider hitting that round subscribe icon on your screen right now so that you don't miss out on any of the future Geektastic fun. You can check out my playlist that features all of the previous episodes of the Doctor Who discussion, formerly known as the Doctor Who Breakdown, and you can check out the video that YouTube itself deems best for you, the viewer. And as always, this has been your Razman's Reality Check.